Yeah, so here we go again with, the YouTube hiding comments bullshit. And if y'all hear any noise in the background, just excuse me for that. They're doing some construction nearby in another unit. But anyway, all right, so here we are. I'm on IamAahron's video called They Wonder Why We Move On, SYSBM, right? And I made some comments in response to his video, and this is for you to see too, IamAahron. So as you see here, I made one comment and I'll show it again in a second. And you see he responded to that, right? And then this other one here, there's no response, no likes or anything. Now, I made actually three, but you only see two. As you scroll down, you will see that there are no more of the Rec 7 icons on the left with the question mark. See there? Only those two comments, right? So now I have to change to newest view in order to see all three. So here's the first one that you saw, and here's the second one, and here's the third, right? But check this out. It's not just that YouTube hides your comments from other people a lot of the time. Sometimes they only show it to the person you're talking directly to, such as the uploader here. But it's hidden from everybody else, and I'll show you this different thing they do when they only let certain people see your comments. Watch this. So now I'm in my RX Shield account, and I'll go back to the video. I've already, let me swipe it away and then repaste the link, which I copied already by hitting the share icon before. And here it is. So we'll go down, and when you scroll down, look. This is the default view, which is top comment. And look, do you see the Rec 7 yellow icon? I mean, with the question marks, orange icon with the question marks. You don't see that, do you? It's nowhere here, right? Nowhere here. So one might wonder, well, how the hell did IamAahron answer my comment? This is because of what I said before, that there's this other trick they do when it comes to hiding comments, whereas they don't hide your comment from everybody. They only show it to the person you're talking to, but other people will never see the conversation between you and that person. So no one else sees it but me and him, IamAahron. And that's fucking ridiculous. So in case people didn't get a chance to read it because I was scrolling by fast, I'll read off what I was saying. Let me log back into the other account to show that. So I'm logged back into my Rec 7 account. So let's go down, and I'm going to sort by newest because it's hiding the third one. So here's everything. So let's just talk about what this is in reference to. This is basically, he's in the video, he's talking about how, you have women that will claim that they have a crush on you for years and all this other shit. And he said he went through this several times. Whereas a woman would say they liked them for a long time. And then, when you finally take their number and take them up on their advance, they don't want nothing to do with you, as if they never had any feelings for you because they're fucking retarded. So I said, I've been through that myself. So I'll read, let me see if I can read this in order. Oh, I said, this is why women over 30 are bad fucking news. You do not want to know how many times I've had instances where women have pushed up on me or act like they were interested, even to the point of groping me on the job. And come to find out these bitches were married with 3 or 4 fucking kids and over 30. What type of situation? I mean, with that type of situation, you have no business having a crush on or even groping someone in public, like you have no fucking sense. And let me see if I can go to my next one. The next one I said, when a woman comes to me and says that she has a crush on me for years, especially saying that she used to like me back in school, the first thing I think to myself is, what the fuck makes me so damn special? And why would you wait all these years to tell me this unless you have some kind of ulterior motive up your sleeve? So when a woman tells me some bullshit like she has had a crush on me for a long time, I'll cut the conversation very short. Like, get fucking lost. These are some of the same idiots that I said end up being married with 4 fucking kids. And they are telling you this bullshit. Also, the women that tell you they are the freakiest in bed and talk about all kinds of sexual shit are the main ones with so much baggage that you would not believe it. They will talk to you about all kinds of freaky shit like as if they are young and single. But the moment that you decide to take them up on their bragging, They hit you with this bullshit telling you that they have 3 or 4 kids and they are already married and not looking for anybody. Nothing but a bunch of fucking losers. So his response, well, no, that was the second comment I made. Let me see. Yeah, his response right there, he said 100. I guess it means like 100% I'm right. So the last thing I said was up here when I said, read my other 2 comments. I can almost guarantee you that for every woman that comes to you and says that she has a crush on you, she is already fucking somebody else. And that person is starting to lack in giving her attention. So she will start giving other men attention in exchange for their attention so that it will make her feel better. But when all is said and done, she will never give those men the real time of day, and she will go right back to fucking that same person. I'm sure there's people watching this that can attest to what I'm saying is true. And it's sad. It really, really is. And, like I said, I do these videos to show when YouTube hides my comments so that people that watch my videos can see it, including the person that I'm responding to, IamAahron. And I'll close this out with another note. Mark my words, okay? This Me Too movement bullshit is going to be the nail in the coffin when it comes to the gender war between men and women. And I'll tell you why. I said this in a comment a while back. We had something that started in or around 2007, 2008 called the Wall of Silence. That Wall of Silence was started by black men. And black male commentators on YouTube was talking about this Wall of Silence that would come if black women did not change their ways. And, they were talking about, how people were making these videos telling black women about themselves because they care, not because they were bashing. And they were right. And, you had a lot of black women that didn't listen to this. They tried to shut the channels down, tried to harass these guys, call them faggots and download brothers, all this other garbage. And, that was back then. That was 10, 11 years ago. And like I said in my comment when I talked about that, it is now with this Me Too movement that the black man's wall of silence for the black woman has spread across every race in America. And like I said, this Me Too movement is going to be the nail in the coffin because now the gender war between men and women is gone full frontal. And as far as men going their own way or MGTOWs and IBMORs, basically introspective black men of reform is like the black version of MGTOW. With these 2 different things going on, IBMOR and MGTOW, you have a lot of men that have totally completely shut off when it comes to having anything to do with women or even having relationships with them. You got men in their 20s that are fixing themselves. They get a vasectomy operation so they don't have to have any kids, so they don't get trapped with kids. You got men in their 20s that don't want to marry and they're already saying they'll never marry, they'll never have kids, and they're 20 years old. And they're saying this already. And now with this Me Too shit, basically what they done was the same movement that these women and stuff and these PUAs, pickup artists or whatever you call them, calling MGTOWs gay and all that. They were making fun of MGTOW. Some people making fun of IBMOR. And with the Me Too movement, what it's doing is now it is causing MGTOW and IBMOR to spread like wildfire. And this is going to be the nail in the coffin because now you're going to have jobs that ain't going to want to hire women, or they're going to want to have them around less. You're going to have a lot of areas in jobs and stuff like that are going to be segregated. They're going to start segregating areas for men and women because they don't want any problems between the two. They don't want any liabilities either for their company or for their male employees. They just don't want the problems. And this is going to make it a lot harder for women to find jobs. They're complaining about not getting certain jobs now. You haven't seen the worst of it. And I have been saying this for 11 years off and on that I've been on YouTube saying that if this shit don't stop about trying to like basically do a witch hunt on heterosexual men, because that's what this is. That's what this is. It's basically a war on heterosexual men and boys. I said that this shit don't stop. It's going to get to a point where guys are not going to give a fuck about women, whether they've been raped for real, whether they're victims of domestic violence, or even if they see them being assaulted outside, men are just going to walk by. And there are more and more men that are starting to do this. Add to the simple fact that there are certain commentators on YouTube, one of them being BIGBKEL. He's one of my favorite ones on YouTube besides the one you see on your screen. And he said about maybe 6 or 7 years ago that black men in particular are going to get tired of women trying to take them for child support and trying to do false allegations and ruin their life and mess up their livelihood, cost them years of their life and mess up their finances so they can't have a decent life and have what they work so hard for. He was right, but he was right when it comes to all races. It's not just black men. And he said that the stories that you hear once in a blue moon, I think it was him that said this, the stories you hear once in a blue moon, and Adigun said it too. The stories you hear once in a blue moon about the men getting fed up and taking these women's lives, and sometimes they take the kids with them. These stories you hear once in a blue moon is not just once in a blue moon. It's the fact that just about all of these stories do not make national news. And it's going on a lot more than people think. And BKL said that about 6 years ago or so. Adigun said it a couple of maybe about six or 7 months ago. He's right. They're both right. If people cared anything about violence against women, then why these people are putting it on the hush hush so that people around the nation don't realize women need to stop the fuckery, all right? Because why? Because corporations and the government benefits from what women do by taking men's money and locking them up and stuff like that. They benefit, you know, with the votes and stuff like that, voting and having men be the minority of the voters. This is by system. So they don't really give a fuck. You think people give a fuck about women's relations and violence against women? When it really comes down to it, nobody fucking cares about that. Because if they cared, they would put all these stories of these men doing this stuff to these women and killing them or bushing them to pieces or shooting them execution style, whatever. They would put all this on national news, but it only makes local. And who started this? I'm telling you, man. Like, people need to realize that this Me Too shit is going to be the final thing. It's going to be what seals all relations between both genders. And women, when you expect people to give a fuck about real rape victims and victims of domestic violence, and you looking for a man, if you ain't lesbian, and you actually looking for a person to find and settle down with to be a husband and provider for you and your kids, God help you.